Welcome to another Josh O'Clock special. Today we'll be talking about the V Cinema direct-to-video Ju-On The Curse. Not to be confused with Ju-On The Grudge, or the American remake of that film, The Grudge. No, this is the direct-to-video original film. I mean, unless you count the short films Katasumi or 44444 compounding. Jesus Christ, it's the first film in the series, also one that not many people probably know existed before, because it was never released in America. Finally got a release last year with Arrow's Ju-On collection, which I strongly recommend you buy because it is amazing, and I think this one deserves a bit of love. Join me today as I review and go over this forgotten classic. Well, let's start with the basic premise. The film centers around the idea of a curse that manifests itself in the form of onryo, or vengeful spirits that form from violent acts and rage within a singular house. The film introduces us to many attractive Japanese men and women in interconnected vignettes who find themselves, or their close relatives, cursed. Think of these as short stories of people being brutally taunted and murdered for no fault of their own. Just tons of innocent people trying to buy affordable housing and being murdered because of it. We follow Toshio, Yuki, Mizuho, Kana, Kayako, and Kyoko as they fight and succumb to the curse. The interesting aspect of these films is that the chapters are in anachronistic order. On a first viewing, this can be kind of, frustrating, as you never really get a chance to learn names or places for yourself. But on subsequent viewings, you really start to understand, the true meaning of this choice. The curse doesn't care about time or place. No matter how fast or how far you run, the curse has you. It already has you. The second you walk into that house, you and everybody you know are dead. My God, that's kind of bleak, huh? People who have seen Ju-On The Grudge or The Grudge, you will immediately recognize that Takako Fuji plays the ghost Kayako. She's played this role since 1998's Katsumi, and amazingly enough all the way until The Grudge 3 release. Yeah, she played the same character in both the original and the American remakes. Fuji has stated in interviews that she had grown a bit tired of the role, and sometimes it was hard for her to keep herself motivated after 7 separate appearances. She admitted, however, that she would continue playing the role of Kayako as long as director Takashi Shimizu desired to hire her again. And occasionally she would even dress up as Kayako for her friends. Now, I have a bit of a confession to make here. This actor is extremely attractive, meaning that, well, you know where I'm going with this. She's terrifying, yes, okay, but This film was released on February 11th, 2000, 24 years ago. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. And it was called a surprisingly effective low-budget horror video from Japan. That's an actual quote. Low budget is honestly a great word for it. Yet I think it's the real strength of the movie. The picture and the audio quality at times feel almost like a home movie. Almost as if I'm just witnessing normal people living out their greatest nightmares. Personally, these older movies always seem to get right under my skin. There's no huge swelling soundtrack or amazing CGI. It's just the creepy old sounds of a Japanese house and ghosts that can be terrifying just by walking by you or looking at you from the other side of the window rather than hunting you down. Just the thought that you can hear a strange sound, but your friend that's sitting right next to you can't, makes a chill run down my friggin' spine. While Ju-On The Grudge and The Grudge get all the love, I actually am reminded every time I rewatch The Curse that this film actually has some amazing scenes and atmosphere that the more mainstream films just don't. It's bloodier, it's gringier, it's more mean-spirited, and at times more terrifying than its higher-budget sequels. There are implied acts of violence at times that literally make me cringe even thinking about that. There are a lot of callbacks to the 2 short films as well, which is great for people who want to track these down and watch the whole series in order. Despite what people may think, a lot of elements that were more confusing in Ju-On The Grudge and The Grudge are explained in the short films, this film, and its sequel, The Curse 2, which is more like half a movie, but maybe we'll get into that in another video. I love that this set has given me the ability to have all of these films on physical media because I just love owning my movies. I don't like looking on streaming services. I just love owning them and being able to pop them in every Halloween or any day I want to watch them. My final thoughts on this movie, though, well, I'm friggin' terrified. I can't sleep. Everywhere I look, I think there's a Japanese girl or a dumbass kid following me. Every time I walk into somebody's house, I wonder if I've just cursed myself and my whole family. Every single crawl space, I just picture that there's some sort of demon of rage ready to kill me in there. So my thoughts, I love it. I love this series. I love this series more than I love the Ring series. Even 24 years after release, this film is still one of my absolute favorites. I recommend that everybody track this series down and watch it. Buy the Arrow 4K, stream it, whatever. I recommend that everybody watch this damn series. Thank you for tuning in for another Josh Clock special, and I will...
The fuck?
I will see you next time, I hope.